Hello, this is Rever, and I would like to make a short video on the fact that you can possibly modify some of the buildings in Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. I don't know how far you can go with everything. Obviously, if you make a new building or a new whatever it is, you would want to be able to add it to the menus. I haven't tried to work that out yet. But I did just want to show you that it is possible. Everything here in this center screen is just a copy of this. If you look, this is my Steam apps common. So I just took everything here and copied it over to just a separate folder on the E drive on my computer. I then went and made a copy of the cement plant, because why not? Even though it's probably not the best choice because it takes a while to build. So when you're testing it, it takes a little while for that guy to get even auto built on easy mode. So in any event, this is just a copy. I just copied it and pasted it so that way when I screw things up or I want to go back to the original, I always have this one. So do not touch this one. That should be a little bit of a disclaimer I want to say here. I am not responsible for any stupid things you do. Like I may make this sound easy. I don't necessarily, I mean, it shouldn't be hard, but I'm sure there's a million little mistakes you can make to crash and ruin your game. I doubt you'll blow up your computer, but be very, very, very careful when you're modifying these files. You should do either versioning, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay a lot of attention to this time. Say this is the time that I'm making this video. This was the last time I edited this file, which was a little while ago. And if we double click, you'll see this is this file, right? And what I want to do is I want to take and see if we can't make another vehicle station, which I figured out is a parking space. So I'm just going to take this whole thing. By the way, I know we can. And copy it over to there. Now the problem with this is that it would be in the same place. So these are some sort of coordinate system. I'm not 100% sure at this point what the coordinate system is, but what I do know is that the existing factory has 3 spaces. This number is the same for all 3. This number, now the other funny thing about the 3 spaces is they're not right next to each other. And I can tell that this must be that coordinate because this is only more or less 4 difference, right? So I mean the difference between here and here is about 4 less. This is more than that. What's it, like 5 something, right? So in other words, there's a bigger space in between these two than these two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the difference between this one and this one about 4 less, right? Which would be -3. Right? And then this one is the same exact number as this one. So I'm not sure. I imagine what this may be is the coordinates of a box. So in other words, this is the one end of the box. This is the other end of the box. Like in other words, if you were to divide it right here, this right here, you could look at that like one end of the box, and this is the other end of the box. I hope that makes some sense. But in any event, we're going to change this to -3. Oop, that's not -3. There we go. Right, so that's all I did. Now just, to spend 1 extra minute here looking, we have, other things that you could potentially change in here. So if we were to look, the workers needed, if you wanted to require more or less workers, it seems like you could do it pretty easily by changing this. If you wanted to require more coal or more gravel or more electricity consumption, looks like you could go in there and change all of that. A lot of this other stuff, I'm not 100% sure. I think some of it has to do with, well, this seems to have to do with how much it costs to build. And I'm also not sure. I think I'm wondering if the cost station, like, when you see the vehicles pull up during like construction, I'm wondering if that doesn't have to do with that. Like this is a vehicle station for when you're doing construction, or not. I'm not real, again, I'm not real sure about what all of this stuff does, but at least, you'd really have to experiment unless they release some kind of information about how to do all this stuff. And here's another interesting thing. I imagine you could relatively easy add another conveyor connection, which would be real nice. And then there should be connection. So I'm not sure what the difference here is with the connection road dead and connection road. So, like this one only has one connection road, and there it is. So you could possibly, if you could figure out exactly how to change these coordinates, put another connection on whichever side you wanted. See, and this program, if you ever never used Notepad++, it's worth getting if you ever do much of this kind of stuff. So anyway, so there we go. So now what I want to do is I want to save this file, right? And you'll notice it says 2:55, which is the same time as the time on my computer. And what we'll do is this is the real game file, right? But remember, I have this backup. So even if I screwed something up, I should be able to go back. I'm going to go copy, paste, replace the file in the destination. So there we go. So I should be able to come down here or come up here and open my Soviet Republic. And hit new game because we definitely don't want to. It's another thing. You can definitely screw up a map save pretty easy. So I'm going to put everything on very easy just so it's not hard for us. And then we're going to move over here because there's a nice flat spot where it looks fairly flat. And I am going to not build roads. Gravel coal. We're going to put in a cement plant. Now, while that's building, I want to build a couple other buildings. I want to build a concrete plant, and we're going to need a road depot to get some vehicles going. Let me build it a little bit further away, and I'll show you why in a second. We will plop down some houses. Let's just connect those two up, and we'll connect this guy up. So we have some room to plop a few houses in here so that we can get workers to this guy. Now this guy's done. I'm just going to do this so that none of the workers will go to the cement plant. But I need the cement plant, at least temporarily, because we'll buy a few cement tanks here. 4 to be exact, right? Let's even do 5, just for the sake of it. And what I'm going to do is, you know what, let's not do it that way. I want to do it like this way. So this first one here, I'll remember is the one that I have open. And let's get this guy ready to go for building some of my favorite prefabs. Yeah, so this is why it's, if you're going to pick a building to experiment on, this one's wonderful in many ways. It is, but at the same time, it does take it a while to get built. So, like, we're not even on the last phase yet. So, and I can't, we can't do anything until then. But yeah, this is pretty cool. So we had talked about it in our live stream last week, which, by the way, I'm going to do another one tonight. Hopefully, the same guys will be back, and maybe we'll discuss it further. Who knows? There we go. So now what we want to do is let's buy, buy stuff so we can make stuff. And then I held off, let's build the house. I held off on building the houses so they don't all escape while we're waiting, because they're not necessarily going to be the world's happiest workers. So let's get, we already had this one open. Let's say you're going to go from here to here. And you know what? Let's pause for a second. So I'm going to start that guy. Copy. Bang, 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 bang. I really don't need the 5th one, I don't think. But I'm going to open each one of these up and hit start. Good. So that should get it all going all at once. And then, now that we have that route set, what I want to do is come in here and just destroy this so none of them can leave, right? So that way all of the trucks will be in there. And we are able to produce until our employees all escape. So this is good. It'll give them a minute, well, half a minute to get ahead of us a little tiny bit. There goes the second, third. So how's he doing? So they should get a little, yep, question mark. So he's full. So they'll each get a question mark because they can no longer get to the cement plant. And it's not these first three. If you open up your map and you build a cement plant or look at the one you already have, you'll see you have these three spots, but you don't have this parking spot. But see, we just pulled into that parking spot. So this is the truck that's in that parking spot. And look, there you go. The fifth one is waiting, right? So this guy was, wait a second. Oh, wait a second. Are they not? Oh, wait, he didn't get stuff this time. I swear he got filled up last time. Here, let's do something else. Let's make sure. Wait a second. Let's see if this guy fills up. Yeah, so he's filling. So there's something else going on there. See that? He is filling up. So I don't know what's going on with this guy. But see, he did fill up. This is definitely the last. See, so it worked. Sorry about that. I don't. Hey, but this is one of the issues with these things. Let's see. Does he prefer the first or the last one? Oh, you know what? These guys have question marks on them too. Oh, you know what? You got to watch out with this game, I've learned, with the routes. You know? So anyway, you get the idea. And you definitely saw that last truck did fill up. See, now what we can do now is... Let's just cut off... Oh, we still got a lot to go. We probably will fill this guy up before we fill... I was hoping to maybe get it to stop there and see him fill up. But there you go. That's the basics of mod, and I don't want to make a big, long video about it. I don't know that much about it myself. I'm not a huge game modder in general, but I did want to let you know that you can go in there and mess with it a bit. Just be real careful. Make sure you back your stuff up. Like, I'm going to go back and set it back to that for the live stream tonight. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Make a brief little addendum to our thing, just to make sure I finished what I started. I watched my own video and I thought, you know what? I never explained to you guys how to back out of the disaster that you created. So the fact is we created this cement plant I&I, and this is the one that matches the one we edited, right? 255. But we had made this original one. I'm just going to copy this one over. Doesn't particularly matter the order that you do it in. And then, so now we have cement plant copy over here as well. So don't click on chemical plant. This is where you have to be very careful. So, and again, confirm your dates in your own head. Look, double check, you know. So I'm just going to hit, well, let me do it so you guys can see, right click and delete. So there goes the chemical plant. Now what I need to do is just rename this back to cement plant I&I. And again, we're being extremely careful with our making sure we didn't do one little letter wrong. We'll mess you up. And then there we go. So now we're back like nothing ever happened when we play the game tonight on the live stream. You know, and if you look, none of my files, here we'll even do date sort, right? You know, you can see, so when I go to start in a few minutes, the live stream, well, a couple hours, none of this will be different. So I haven't cheated in any way. But there you go. So you can really change the heck out of this game. And just so you know, the other thing I noticed I didn't mention, if we go to Soviet Republic, everything seems to be in this media Soviet. And I mean, if you're a modder, you know more about this stuff than I do, but there's all kinds of of things, you know, and yeah, Media Soviet. If we go to like well, where is it? Buildings. There's a bunch of different what do you call it, files in here that don't mean anything to me. So some of the stuff does seem to be somewhat protected, but there's other image files here, and I was trying to open those up with Visual Studio. Sometimes it's a little friendlier to open things up. Some other people may know how to open them, but there you go. Have at it. Have fun. Talk to you sometime soon. I hope you give me any feedback or thoughts on this, and I'm not sure how much more I'll ever do on the modding of it, but hey, it's there for you. Thought I'd let you know. See ya.